Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Always On, the cyber and AI growth briefing for business leaders. My name is Earl, and I am the CEO of Cidian Group. And today we're diving into one of the most underestimated and misunderstood risks in business: insider threats and how AI can both fuel and fight them. Most of the headlines we see today are about outside hackers, ransomware gangs, phishing attacks, nation states, all that kind of fun stuff. But the reality is, more than 30% of data breaches start from the inside. That's right. Sometimes the real risk isn't some shadowy hacker in a hoodie, it's Bob from accounting with a browser extension. But let's talk about why this matters, especially in financial services. In this industry, access equals exposure. And the more people who can touch sensitive data, the higher your risk of something going wrong, even by accident. And here's the kicker: most insiders who cause damage don't mean to. They're just trying to do their jobs faster, using the latest AI tools or automating a few tasks. And boom, sensitive information gets uploaded, shared, or stored in the wrong place. Now, I know what you're thinking: that could never happen here. But trust me, it already is. And it's not just the big banks, it's hitting smaller firms, the ones who think they're under the radar. Spoiler alert, there's no radar anymore. So, the insider threat used to be the classic rogue employee, someone with a grudge or payday in mind. But today, that's only one part of the story. Now, we've got unintentional misuse of AI tools, or what we like to call shadow IT, like Slack or Notion being used outside of company controls, and even simple browser extensions that are quietly collecting data in the background. AI has made things faster, but it also has made it easier for smaller mistakes to become big problems. And here's where it gets tricky: the same AI tools that help us spot threats can also make those threats harder to detect. It's like hiring a magician to guard your wallet. So let's look at some real world examples. Example one: a regional bank had a breach this past quarter when a back office employee thought they were being clever using ChatGPT to generate reports. Well, that sounds efficient, right? Except those reports included customer financial data. So when they pasted that information into ChatGPT, they were actually sending it to a third-party API. Instant data exposure, no hacking required. In another case, a fintech startup where internal Slack messages were copied to personal AI tools to help rewrite them for tone, and compliance found out later after a legal review. The result: fines, audits, and a new rule: no AI without oversight. And my favorite, browser extensions. The ones that promise to make your workday easier. Yeah, some of those scrape data right out of your browser sessions. A few weeks ago, one extension was caught quietly collecting CRM data from client dashboards, completely invisible until someone ran a forensics analysis. So it's not about bad people, it's about bad habits multiplied by powerful tools. So let's move on to the cost of ignoring insider risk. If you overlook insider threats, it's not just about data lost, it's about lost trust. You could face regulatory fines, compliance penalties, exposure of intellectual properties, or, and this is a big one, loss of morale. Because when your team realizes that someone slips through the cracks, confidence takes a hit. Culture matters, accountability matters, and ignoring insider risk sends the opposite message: that no one's watching the store. But here's the good news: you can control a lot more than you think. You might not be able to predict intent, but you can control access. You can monitor behavior, and you can flag anomalies before they become incidents. And this is the most important part: you can teach your team how to use AI responsibly. So how do we do that? Well, we start by using AI tools for good. We deploy behavior analytics, we limit access based on role and content, and most importantly, we educate your people. Because when you turn awareness into empowerment, you reduce the risk and build a culture of accountability. All right, let's see what this looks like in real life. We're going to move into our live demo today. And here's the scenario. Let's say, let's call her Sarah, and Sarah is working in the finance department, and she tries to access a folder called executive compensation. Now, normally, Sarah doesn't have access to that. Our AI monitoring system picks up that instantly and flags the anomaly. So maybe Sarah clicked it by accident, or maybe she's just curious. Either way, the system doesn't judge, it just alerts. Immediately, a notification pops up on the dashboard and it shows who accessed what from when and where. And within seconds, an automatic workflow is triggered, escalating the alert to the security team. So if we look at our dashboard, and I'm going to pull this up here just a second. And today I think we'll use Chat GPT. All right. So I'm going to pull up our um, our dashboard. Hold on just a second. So we happen to use a software called Rocket Cyber. All of our clients do. And I'm going to look at the dashboard here, and I'm going to see that we have a certain amount of events. So let me pull this up here for just a second. All right. So here you can see our dashboard. So our dashboard is looking at um, all of the events that are happening. So we are looking at a bunch of different events, and I'm going to review them here. Maybe review. Come on, you can do it. There we go. So I'm looking here and I can see all of the different things that are happening. And I can take this information, I can download it into a CSV file, and it's going to forward that to me. And then it's going, once I get that information, I can upload that then into AI and have AI tell me what it sees, right? So let's see, give me a second. Did it download all of that information? It did not. Of course, because we're on live, it's going to act silly. So hang on a minute. All right. Well, sorry, I'm waiting for the data to download because apparently it's not very quick. Da, 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 da. All right, hang on a minute. Sorry, it's still downloading. I don't know what the story is, or maybe because I'm broadcasting, but it seems to be very, very slow. Which is what live TV, you gotta love it. So before we do that, let's talk for just a minute. So having AI recognize that this is not normal behavior, and it's not stopping Sarah from working. It's just watching for unusual patterns. So we can actually look in the recommended action box, and the system would suggest the next steps, verify that Sarah is able to locate the isolation, and start an internal review all in real time. So, again, let me test this out. No. All right. Well, I'm not going to be able to show you that because it's acting weird. So, my apologies. So, we can have proactive protection in AI. It's not about catching people, it's about catching problems before they escalate. So, that's really what always on really means. AI that never sleeps, right? So you want to make sure that you are having AI go over your logs, and your logs are then able to tell you exactly what's happening with Sarah and all of the other people in your office. So again, having that AI powered dashboard to monitor user activities is something that you can do. Apparently, mine is not working, or I will show it to you here live. Now, as soon as I get off of this live session, it will probably work flawlessly, but because it is live, it did not. Um, so let's talk about our myth of the week. So every week we go over an AI myth, and this one makes me laugh every time. So our myth this week is that insider threats only happen at big companies. That is absolutely false. In fact, small and mid-sized businesses are often more vulnerable because they don't have the same infrastructure or detection systems as the big players. And hackers actually know that. AI has democratized attack potential, and it's leveling the playing field for both sides. So this means that every business, no matter the size, needs to take insider threats seriously. So if you're thinking we're too small to be a target, think again. You are absolutely the perfect target for anyone. So let's bring it home. This conversation isn't about fear, it's about smart strategy. We're not trying to make people paranoid. We're showing business leaders how to be prepared, proactive, and profitable in the AI era. Because at City and Group, we don't believe cybersecurity is a tech issue, it is a business growth conversation. So here's your next steps. Book your free cyber and AI profit assessment today. You can go to citian.group/risk, or you can call us at 904-907-8503. We'll help you uncover where risk might be slowing down your growth and how AI can help you to fix it. Thank you so much for joining us today. Stay secure, stay smart, and always and stay always on. And make sure you join us next week for episode 3, where we'll talk about supply chain breaches and third-party AI risk. Until then, keep your data close, your AI closer, and remember, curiosity is great, but don't paste your balance sheet into ChatGPT. And as always, be kind to everyone. Have a great week.